How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Everything Marvel Podcast. We wanted to bring you an episode about the new Black Widow movie. Now, it's just a trailer, you may say that, but it's so much more. There's so many Easter eggs, there's so many references, things you need to know, people you need to understand before you go into this movie. And it's kind of an important movie because it's Black Widow's backstory, and there's a lot of characters that they're sticking in there that people haven't seen before. So we wanted to bring this to you. I've watched it a few times. I've watched a few other people break it down and pull out Easter eggs, and they have crazy theories. I'm going to bring you some of them that make sense, and some of them I'm just not even going to bother with because they're...
You mean a Marvel trailer has different theories that are outlandish?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah. People are taking way too much from this, and people are actually making good insights on this. So right off the bat, as you can see, this is a huge shot, and that looks like the Statue of Liberty, but it's actually in, guess where? Budapest. So that's the first theory is Hawkeye's going to make an appearance. And that would be really awesome. I'm not going to lie. I really hope that does happen. There's so many rumors going on about this movie. We had little information going into this. I mean, if you think about it, there were so many rumors. We didn't know the timeline. We didn't know the characters. Why? Because at first people were like, wait, is this an origin story? Because she died. Yes, we do know that. So it has to be an origin story because they didn't bring her back. We didn't know the plot. We didn't know what was going to happen. You know, why is this important? But we're getting some more details now. A few of the characters you need to know. Obviously, Scarlett Johansson. You need to know that she's in it. David Harbour plays Alexei Shostakov. He's the Red Guardian.
Not Hopper.
Nope, not that guy. He's been in Quantum of Solace and Suicide Squad. They break him out of prison according to a plot leak. Now, this source for this plot leak has been pretty accurate from what I read. So, and in the trailer, it looks like they're breaking him out of somewhere. Yeah. So, it's very plausible. Florence Pugh, she is Yelena Belova. I'm trying my Russian accent.
Really glad you're pronouncing these names.
I'm pretending that I'm Russian because she actually has a really good Russian accent in the trailer.
Fantastic, yeah.
Rachel Weisz is the next one. I'm not really that much of a fan of her Russian accent from what I see.
I'm not much a fan of hers. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. She was in The Mummy. And
right,
you were like,
that's the problem.
Yeah, okay. She was in The Bourne Legacy, which was probably everybody's least favorite Bourne movie.
Another tie-in there.
Yeah, huge letdown that movie was. I'm a huge Bourne fan, and that movie was a huge letdown. Not that I don't like any of the actors. It just wasn't Matt Damon, and it just wasn't the same. Different rant for a different day. We'll stay off that one. I think that she's being, and this is one of the rumors I read, she's being set up to be the villain Iron Maiden.
Ooh.
That's very plausible. Iron Maiden is a character who wears a light metal suit, not like Iron Man thick and heavy, but lightweight. It protects from impacts and bullets. So she's very agile and quick. It's
kind of a Jane Foster-esque type in the Thor comics, like that type of light armor, not like crazy over the top bulk, more of a feminine touch.
Right. It serves as more of an exoskeleton, and it enhances her strength. So another huge rumor, and I don't know if I buy this one yet. It's rumored that she is playing the Taskmaster as well, who is the main villain. We haven't gotten there yet, but we will get there when we start. We're going to go through the picture. We're going to go through the trailer. I don't know that I buy that because in the comics, it's a guy, right?
Right.
I mean, so that would be, they call it a gender bend, where they change the character to the opposite gender, which, I mean, would be cool. I just don't know. Looking at him in the trailer, it doesn't look like.
It's a bit of a stretch if you look at the trailer. We'll look at that in a minute.
We will get there.
Yeah.
Are those plot leaks true? That's the big question, because that's going to change the game. All right, so let's watch a little bit of this here. We're going to go through it pretty slow, kind of scene by scene, so just go with us here. Actually, I'm going to take this a little bit so we can see a little bit better what's going on. All right, here we go. We already talked about Budapest.
I used to have nothing.
Okay, so immediately, just flashbacks. So let's talk about that. Before we get too far into this, a lot of people are saying this is all in chronological order. I don't buy that because there's too much that doesn't make sense if you put it in chronological order. We just leave it like that. And you know, 100% Marvel has a history of, I won't say tricking, but I will say misleading you in the trailer with, oh, this edited image here or this doctored footage there. And so completely misleading. So do not put it past them to change the timeline in the trailer.
Shouldn't shock anybody.
You shouldn't be surprised. So like we said, this is the Statue of Liberty, Budapest. And in the next section, you get random clips from older movies. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, wait a minute. Is this literally just a teaser with her voice talking and a bunch of clips from the old movies? I'm going to be angry, but just bear with it. It gets better. Just hold on. Just if you haven't watched this yet, just hold on. We'll get to it.
And then I got this job. This family. But nothing lasts forever.
Okay. So, just clips. Nothing out of the ordinary. But the phrases are from Endgame. Just keep that in mind. And she and Clint looking at each other in that one section. I feel like that's the hint that's telling me that he's going to be in this movie. Now, Fury was in there too. You could make that argument. But
was it Fury?
Oh,
that whole rabbit trail.
Yeah, that's
sticking with Clint. I think he's got to make an appearance in this movie, right?
I mean, if they're in Budapest,
yeah, it's got to be like that's a huge letdown if they don't.
Right, this is your one chance to show us what happened in Budapest. We've been wanting to know since Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Was that because they were shooting?
This
is way different than Budapest. You and I remember Budapest different, or that phrase. We have to know. This is your chance, Marvel. If you let us down,
even if it's a small cameo, we'll take a tiny cameo. Just give me something.
Gotta have something.
Clint's great.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. All right. So the next section. Let's do the next section after the Marvel Studios logo.
Heard you had to leave in a hurry.
It's never easy these days.
So what are you going to do?
Okay. Let's They're in a train station, or she's in a train station. She's obviously running from something/someone. Probably what we're being told is that this is after Civil War, which makes sense because everybody was scattered. Everybody was on the run, because she flipped sides. So they were after her. Cap and the other guys got away and kind of hid out.
Right.
The two family men took house arrest. Let's see. Oh, Ross was there. We hear him talking. We haven't seen him yet. We see this cool convoy of trucks. Let's get to this next section with the trucks.
I've lived a lot of lives, but I'm done running from my past.
Boy, we're getting ahead here. So the convoy of trucks. We see a digitally de-aged Ross. This cannot be after Civil War. Think about it. He was an old guy in what was the one he came back in? Was it Infinity War? No. Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War. Infinity War, yeah.
Civil War is when we first see him come back since the Hulk. I mean, that was the only other one he was in up until that point, and they brought him back in. It was cool, But he was an older guy even in the Hulk movie, so there's no way he's digitally de-aged 20, 30 years.
He got the Irish treatment, the Irishman treatment.
Wrinkle reducer.
Yeah.
So there's no way that's in the timeline. No way. So this is either a flashback or we're going way back in time with Black Widow here for a section, which either would be interesting.
I mean, if it's going to be an origin story type thing, I mean, even if it's not like a full origin story, like you're saying, like they're kind of showing a little bit of the Red Room, they're showing a little bit of what happened in Budapest, and then that's fine. But I hope they don't go too crazy with the de-aging and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
At a point, the digital altering gets too much. Henry Cavill. This next section, she's found a lot of passports. She's going through her passports, which back to Jason Bourne reminds me of Jason Bourne. And
this whole trailer looks like a Bourne movie, which I love because Bourne's awesome, first off. And I feel like she's a very Jason Bourne type character.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, so far nothing's been a letdown in the feel of the trailer.
Right. For sure. All right. So this is the next section. She's in a hotel and she's going back to the start.
I know you're out there.
Enter.
I know you know I'm out here.
Yelena.
So we're going to talk like grown-ups?
Is that what we are?
Cue Bourne fight scene now.
Awesome. This fight scene.
see it too, sis.
Okay, so sis. Obviously, this girl is a trained assassin, almost exactly like Natasha
That
Romanov.
whole de-arming scene. I mean, they were doing the same moves. It was very cool.
I'm surprised she didn't take a sink in like Bash, one of the more movies they did that. But at any rate, they don't kill each other. They're sisters. Elena realizes that Natasha is running away from something and is out of options, or she wouldn't have come back there.
So I want to pose a question here with the whole sister thing. Are they? Do you think they're really sisters, or is it like they survived the Red Room type deal, and so? Am I getting ahead of you here?
No,
okay.
that's how I lean though.
When I first watched it, I was like, they don't look alike, and if anything, Marvel's kind of, they've been really good at typecasting. Like if you're going to be related, they're going to make you look like Clint's children and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm kind of leaning towards it's just a sisterhood in the type of like they made it through the Red Room.
Yeah, like
together.
a sister. Yeah, not really an adopted thing, but like we went through the same stuff. We're kin now.
Yeah, maybe that was part of their training in the Red Room. They instilled some sort of family dynamic of, I mean, obviously a weird demented family, but a family nonetheless.
Yeah, sure. Okay, now let's go to this next part.
What brings you home?
We have unfinished business.
I missed the spot right there. She is holding something in her hand right there. There's so much speculation as to what is in her hand. Some people say this is after a big battle because you see like
obviously,
broken things in the background. And I'll kind of swing back around to this because people have speculated as to what it is, and we'll pose it to you and see what you think. But there's that convoy. Is it the same convoy? Is it a different convoy? Marvel's confusing us again. I don't know.
This looks more like SUVs to me than military trucks.
Yeah, those look military / Hummer-like, and these just look like, Escalades or something. But, but regardless.
We have unfinished.
Okay, that suit is awesome. I just want to stop that.
Very nice.
That's a cool suit. I'm not going to lie. It's an awesome suit.
Business.
This is the three sisters that we were talking about. Running together. They don't look like they're running from each other. They're not fighting each other. They're running from somebody. People speculate that she doesn't make the one falling, which is
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz's character, that she doesn't make it out. I don't know.
Hardcore parkour.
We have to go back to where it all started.
The snow scene.
The sickest Black Widow suit.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is just
so great.
This white suit from Deadly Origin comic. People are losing their minds on the internet over this. It is so cool. And we also...
And she stuck the superhero landing.
Oh, yeah. She so stuck the landing. Just killed it. All right. Let's see.
Lucky us.
One thing's for sure.
Footage, so I think they're going to do a lot of flashbacks to training scenes and stuff.
I hope they go into more detail, actually, about the Red Room. Like, we got a little bit of an Age of Ultron, and it was interesting, but that looks like it's still active, maybe. Like...
Maybe. Oh, that'd be sick.
That... They're still making Black Widow agents. Taskmaster. All right, let's talk about him for a minute. He's in the comics. You know what? I see that. I kind of see that, and I thought that.
Hey, if there's a bad guy to copy, it would be Shredder, man. Shredder and Vader are like the two best in my mind from my childhood. So
fact. So in the comics, he's mostly a supervillain, sometimes an anti-hero / sleeper agent. Like he can kind of change size, sort of thing.
You know how Marvel does.
Oh yeah. He's even a mercenary hired as a training instructor by the big nefarious criminal organizations. So it's kind of a big deal. He has a few like superpowers. They're not like, what's the word? They're not on the level of like Hulk superpowers or Thor superpowers, but they are enhancements. He has what they call photographic reflexes. All right. So if he's fighting somebody, he can immediately copy and like hit them back with it like a mirror image. So he can absorb their movements and knowledge of their movements instantaneously, and it'd be like fighting a mirror, so it'd be nearly impossible to beat.
Right.
He can manipulate his voice to sound like others in the comic, so if he wanted to sound like Tony Stark or whoever, he can change his vocal cords like that. I mean, that's freaking cool. I mean, voice recognition, done. You beat that. I mean, done. He usually uses a sword and a Captain America replica shield. Like it's not the same color and everything, but it's the same idea. Strong shield, throws it,
I mean, and he uses it very similar to Captain America when, as far as like the throwing and stuff. Like it's more of a projectile than it is an actual damage absorption tool.
Right. Also, bow and arrow. He's a big bow and arrow guy, as you can see right here. And back to the idea that Rachel Weisz is this character, is this next clip, is the only thing in this trailer that makes me think that may be true. They show this person.
Gonna be a hell of a reunion.
That could be a slight bit of foreshadowing.
Maybe, man. He just looks thicker.
That's my other hesitation.
In the shoulders.
He looks
broad.
I mean? Like she's kind of thin, and he looks like big. Yeah, maybe it's the suit. Though.
And yeah, but kind of going back to like what we were talking about earlier with like her armor and stuff, like and that just doesn't feel to me to stick. But again, you're translating from comics to a digital video, medium. So maybe they do some sort of, surprise. Oh, she's Rachel Weisz.
And Marvel does that. Like in some aspects, they stick really, really close to the comic. You're like, I know because this is in the comic. Other aspects, you're like, that was never once in the comic. So I mean, they pick and choose, and it works, I guess.
Which is, I mean,
it works.
It's fun because I mean, if you've just memorized the comics, then you're not gonna be surprised by anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's sometimes a little deviation's fine.
Keeps you guessing, I guess, is the better way to put it. Enter the next scene.
Look like he's breaking out of prison.
Breaking him out of prison. He's basically, if you don't know who Red Guardian is, he's what people call him is the Russian ripoff of Captain America. That's just what they call him. It seems like his role is going to be a little bit different than in the comics, because in the comics, I think he's actually married to Natasha at one point, and like he fakes his own death, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens. So I don't think this doesn't feel like that. So I'm just going to say that's.
Still fits.
So has.
This looks like Hopper, man.
Back together again.
You got fat.
See, I'm just not a fan of her Russian accent. Few things. He puts on the outfit, says it still fits. He's coming out of retirement. So when was he like active? What brings him out of retirement? Why did they break him out? There's something. My theory is Taskmaster shows up and they can't beat him alone, and they think that this guy is going to help them, and so they break him out of prison. That's just my theory, just from reading and watching this a few times, and that's just kind of what I think.
Yeah, there's also precedent for like superheroes to go to prison to kind of retire because they feel safer. They don't have to worry about like bad guys and stuff. Just another thought. Maybe that was kind of why he was in prison. Maybe we don't read too much into it.
Yeah, I give it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he calls them family. So was he one of the trainers in the Red Room? Was he like a leader? Like, makes me wonder, because if they're sisters, he's family. Is he their father? Like, I don't think he's on the like age to be a brother. Like, they didn't show any men assassins, so that just makes you wonder,
But like in the Red Room, notoriously all female.
Yes.
Everything I've seen in Red.
So,
I was just making sure I wasn't off.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right.
I mean, maybe it is like some sort of trainer role, or maybe they lent support to him when he was out, kind of thing, and they developed a team camaraderie type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just some thoughts.
Yeah. So let's get through this next part right here.
And as a fat guy, it's nice to see a fat guy on screen.
Nice. Okay. And then this next scene is probably one of the best. Right. You probably missed it because you blinked, but I'm going to see if I can find it. Okay, so he's getting ready to fight Taskmaster, which makes me think that's why they broke him out. But there's this scene, if I can get it. Perfect, right there. They're fighting. You see that little thing in the ground? It's Taskmaster's shield. That doesn't look like Rachel Weisz's body type to be. I mean, it just doesn't. It looks like.
Depends on how much of the exoskeleton they're playing up. I mean, again, I lean towards it's not Rachel Weisz.
I don't think it is.
But I mean, I could kind of see how and I wouldn't be disappointed if it was, but Yeah.
So they're fighting. Obviously, they're not on this. Some kind of not bunker, but it's like a facility. That makes me think that's where they do the training. The Red Room is in that snowy Arctic type, Mother Russia facility. It's covered in snow, and then it's blowing up. So who found it? Who's blowing it up? There's so many questions with this trailer. So many questions.
And then cue the G.I. Joe fight scene.
Oh, the huge dive. I guess she likes to dive off of high places without parachutes.
It's a thing.
Too soon?
Ah.
May 2020. So, lots of questions, lots of Easter eggs, lots of ideas. A couple of things we didn't talk about that kind of went by quick. If you look at the suit that Natasha is wearing, and I don't have pictures of this right now, in Infinity War, when she first shows up with Cap, short blonde hair, people are saying that her sister dies. The blonde-headed one dies. That's why she cuts her hair short and dyes it blonde in honor of her sister, right? And then the vest that she's wearing is her sister's vest. And that's what she's clutching. In that one scene, she's holding her sister's vest because she just died. That's one of the theories. And so maybe it's in the explosion, the big falling thing, and that's the good guys coming in at the end with all the Humvees, to clean up the wreckage. And she's just standing there in her suit because that suit kind of matched the one she just dove off the building.
Right.
Maybe that same explosion is there, again, all out of order.
Well, I mean, Natasha's plagued by losing the people closest to her. It's a very tragic story. So, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would buy it. And it would make sense for the Infinity War short hair.
Right.
Blonde hair would make complete sense. So, again, lots of things to digest with that one. Very excited. Usually they will drop another trailer and give us just maybe 10 seconds more. We probably won't do a whole nother podcast, but we might in a second podcast that we're doing afterwards go back and touch on it. But yeah, just especially if it opens up any more ideas or answers any questions that we may have. So thank you guys for watching this episode and joining us. We will see you next time. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See you guys.